It's not a tough word, it's a very tough word. But you and I have no excuse for not doing the right thing. That is in our own interest. And that's why the Qur'an makes it very clear to you. Alaykum anfusakum. Be responsible for yourself. What you fail to achieve, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I failed to achieve this because I didn't do better. What is your situation as an individual, as a family, as members of a community, as jami'iyat and jama'at? Whatever you are the ones who brought it to this level. Because you didn't have the time, you didn't have the interest, and you didn't care to listen to better sense. Because as I told you, every Friday, superlative sense is being said here. You can travel this whole country, you can go about. I tell everybody, go about. Go and see all the different khutbahs, what you get. It's not me. It's the Qur'an speaking and sense speaking. Nobody is assured any kind of growth and development unless you use your sense to understand Qur'an. Because the Qur'an is telling us, alaykum anfusakum. I would never blame you for my faults. I will never blame you for my failures. I will be very foolish. And you will be very foolish to blame me. Oh, we don't go forward because they have a man who comes here and he talks all kinds of different things. So better let's go to a place where somebody talks we don't have to understand. And we are out there like anything else. So the Quran says, عَلَيْكُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ مَنْ ضَلَّ إِذَا اهْتَدَيْتُمْ. Nobody who has chosen to go astray can be the reason for your misguidance if you choose to go to the right path. I want us to really look at ourselves and look at our families. I can tell you, I'm a social worker. I'm a student, I'm an educator. I'm somebody busy in society. But I don't see the 100% support of many families who are just sitting idly, wasting the time and the opportunity. Most of all because of what they inherited from their forefathers. This thing called religion that we inherited from our forefathers is the killer number one of our growth. It was the killer number one of the Arabs in the time of the Prophet Muhammad. It is the killer of the Arabs up to now. And of all the other peoples who felt that their ancestors for so many 100 years were Muslims. Who are you and I to come and tell them anything? This is the attitude. Deal with the Muslims. Whose ancestors were Muslims. They feel they're superior, they're up there. Although they are up there with ignorance. They just feel they're superior. Brothers and sisters, superiority does not lie in lineage. Superiority does not lie in lineage. It's not who I came from or who you came from. This matters not. Superiority can lie in this fact. In spite of who I came from or whom I did not come from, look what I have become. That's what is important in life. That is what is important in life. That is what you and I need to teach ourselves and teach our families and our children. We shouldn't fool our children and make them feel that they can live a very good and outstanding life without Allah and His guidance in their life. And many of us are doing that. Many Muslims are doing that. They hardly have a 10% Islamic Qur'anic grip over their families. It's a shame to know what's happening in the inside. Why suffer these little children who are growing up in a brutal society of materialism, and make them feel that the only pursuit par excellence they need to pursue is to become a professional. That is why today Canada has a lot of professionals. Go to the universities. Go do research in the universities of Canada. Go to Western Ontario. Go to Toronto University, UFT. Go to all the universities and study the lifestyle of the people who are going to become doctors and lawyers and politicians and engineers and scientists of the society. What is their lifestyle and mindset? They no doubt are professionally oriented, but they lack, generally speaking, human values. They lack human considerations. They are there basically for vocational interest. Not a vocation. They are there for a skill. They know they got to get this degree to stand up effectively in society. Do you think that all the graduates overall from the universities in Canada bring to this society, apart from their materialistic enhancement of materialism, do you think they bring greater human values? That's the challenge. If you and I send our children to university, that's a good thing. If you and I tell our children they should not be beggars and factory workers if they can avoid it, but they should be professionals so they can have a better living, is that the end of it? We should teach our children that life could never be as sweet if it is without the guidance of Allah, the Qur'an. I don't mean this kind of ritualistic Qur'anic recitation and teachings that don't even, as we say, بالعربية لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع. That doesn't help anybody anywhere. Pass through the Muslim streets. There is no shortage of Qur'an. But is it able to help them get out of the rut and the mess that they're in? No way. Because life is not based on magical formulas. Life is based on realistic appraisal, application, evaluation and input. This is what life is. And this is what the Islam and Qur'an is all about. But somehow the Muslim world have a different picture. They have a different image. They have an image, you can be holy on certain days, holy in certain months, holy on certain occasions, think of God on certain times, but the other times, you know, you follow anybody else's philosophy, anybody else's ideology. The biggest challenge for all of us is twofold. I told you the Prophet had this challenge in his life. And all the prophets had this challenge in their lives. You and I, sometimes when we read the storybook history of the Prophet, which is nowhere genuine. Because these storybooks hardly tell you the real essence of his message. But still you feel sorry when you hear Abu Jahl used to fight him. Abu Lahab used to fight him. Right? Abu Sufyan used to fight him. You will feel sorry what they did with him. And that's just a drop in the ocean. The question is, are we the Abu Jahl of our times? Are we the Abu Lahab of our times? Are we the Abu Sufyan of our times? Are we opposing this message that this magnificent messenger brought? Or are we just paying lip service to it? Do we make this message look cheap? Because all we do with it is to relate with it in a ritual manner. We seem not to understand that this is a message of great hope and emancipation and growth and development. It's very difficult to change the mindset of the Muslim community who somehow believe in this thing called blessings. That they keep doing certain things in the name of religion.